Welcome to the podcast. This week we are talking about a word that everybody loves: audits. Dun dun dun. We are not going to talk about the yucky little IRS audit that nobody actually likes. Today we are going to talk about auditing your business. And we're going to talk about doing a financial and a time audit for your business. Those are two of the three resources that you have available to you. Your time, your money, and your energy is the third. Next week, we're going to cover energy and we're going to cover return on investment. So tune in. If you are catching this for the first time, subscribe either on YouTube, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify. But make sure you tune in for next week where we talk about energy and return on investment. This week, let's start with our financial audit. Oh, we get so quirky about money sometimes, and especially if your business isn't making the amount of money that you want it to make right now, you might be in this really great game of, you can't see me. You can't see me, covering your eyes. Don't look over here. Let's not look at it when it comes to money. It is so important for you to know where you are at, to do an audit of your time, your money, and your energy, because my friend Teresa Romaine, who is an abundance coach, who wants you to have an abundance of all of those, she was one of the very first episodes of this podcast. So scroll all the way back or go visit her at teresaromaine.com. She talks about this exercise of I am now here. It is so important to know where you're at right now. Because if you want directions to McDonald's, you call me up on the phone and you're like, hey, how do I get to McDonald's? What's the first question I'm going to ask? Where are you? I can't give you directions. You can't figure it out for yourself unless you're aware of your current location. Audits help you to be able to do that, and it doesn't have to be super scary. So when it comes to a financial audit, there's a few things that I want you to pay attention to. First of all, how easy have you made it for yourself? So like me, I have one business credit card. I have my own separate business bank account, PS, my own separate business savings account, PS, and my own separate business credit card, PS. That should all be things that you do this week if you do not already have them done. And I put all my expenses on my business credit card or my business debit card. So I have two places to look for expenses. I don't have my expenses spread out all over. I don't have to go look through my home checking, my personal credit card to find expenses. If I pull up last month's credit card statement, that gives me probably 85% of the information I need about my expenses part of my financial audit. And the reason it's 85% is because occasionally I do put things on my debit card. I use my debit card a lot of times if I'm going out networking and I have to pay for lunch at the networking group that I'm at because I don't carry my business credit card. And also, if I just look at 1 month's expenses, what I don't see are those yearly costs. How many domain names do you have? I have multiple tracks of my business, so I kind of have a lot of domain names, and they only charge once a year. My website used to charge once a year. My podcast account charges once a year. It's not a monthly fee. I have a networking organization I'm a part of that charges once a year, not a monthly fee. If I don't take into consideration those yearly fees as well, then my audit is going to be slightly incomplete. And it's going to get to the time of year when I actually pay for 2 podcasts. This is my second podcast that I had. So I have one that it just kind of it is completed, but in order to leave it up and posted, I have to pay a yearly fee. So for my 2 podcasts, right around big end of January, beginning of February, I get these like ching ching on my credit card bill. If I am aware of them, I can set aside money for them, those yearly fees. So do an audit of your expenses, all your Zoom and any other subscriptions, your networking groups, all of those things. Now, how much money does that mean you need to make every month to pay expenses? Now, how much money do you need to make in income? Now, how much money do you need to make to cover your taxes? That's how much money you need to make minimally. Now let's look at our income. Again, if you're a simple little girl like me, I run everything through one credit card processing platform. So I can open up that account at any point and I can see my income, because as a small business owner and as a coach, you likely have ups and downs and ups and downs. And with that, you probably will do a launch or you'll run a workshop, and that will lead to a bit of income from your work, from not only the workshop, but then the follow-up you do afterwards and the clients you acquire. So you have to look at that and go, oh, am I doing enough launches to create the clientele that I need to make the money that I need? Oh, I'm not. I'm a launch short. Oh, I guess I got to do better. I'll do another one. I'll put it on the schedule. Or maybe I'll promote the next one better so I can close even more clients at it. Whatever it is, it helps you to have a clear picture of where your money is, what you need to do about it, and maybe, you know what? Laura, you do not need so many domain names. Let's go ahead and like no auto renewal for that one, no auto renewal for that one. It was a good idea at the time, but we no longer need it. True story. So it'll show you where you have a leak in your financial resource bucket as well. Now, time. Time. This is such a precious resource. How much time are you spending and what are you spending it on? Do now. Time. Cut, cut, cut. Cut, cut. Now for time. Precious resource. How much time are you spending and where are you spending it? When you go to that one networking group that's an hour away from your home, so it takes an hour to get there, you get there half an hour early, you stay half an hour late, it's a 2-hour meeting, you drive home an hour. That little networking group is really a 5-hour dedication of your time that week. Is it creating a return on investment, right? Is it helping you? Or is that something you need to let go? How much time are you spending trying to be perfect? Having some perfectionism when it comes to your marketing, when it comes to different things. My son also does some graphic design, and I watch him tweak, 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 tweak into perfection, these things. And I'm like, just lay it out first, then step back and look at it, because he's tweaking as he's going along. Perfectionism is such a time suck. It also is a really good distraction, though. See, if you look at your time audit and you think, man, another week, every week, Man, I forgot to do those follow-up phone calls. Man, I didn't have time to do those follow-up phone calls. I didn't have time to do those follow-up phone calls. But you look at your time schedule and you're like, oh, I spent way too much time on social media and tweaking that. I had plenty of time to do the follow-up phone calls. I must have resistance to the follow-up phone calls. We're going to do a future episode on the concept of what you resist persists and how that shows up in your business, but it's going to show up like distraction. So doing a time audit gives you the information that allows you to make better choices. And that's what it's all about. For some of you, it may look like buying back some time to put into your business from other things, like assigning somebody else in your household to do the grocery shopping. Yeah, I know they're going to buy the wrong bread. My son does too sometimes, and I get over it. Maybe it's having a luxury like your groceries delivered, or a luxury like having somebody come in to clean your bathrooms and your floor, or your whole house. What are you using your time on? And is it benefiting and creating the life that you want to have as a business owner? Join me next week where we finish out this conversation by talking about energy audits and that concept of return on investment. So frequently we get it wrong. Talk to you soon.